What's up, everybody? This is Janky J with the Four Real Takes, and tonight we've got.
Just pick.
You already know Harv from the world famous Harv's Movie Hut. Go Mexico!
Yeah, yeah, Harv likes sports. What a loser. All right, so tonight, I'm just going to be honest. I think it's good to be honest with the people that watch us. So we've been thinking about stuff, and we kind of came to the conclusion that, like, the way we've been doing the channel, it's not really beneficial in a kind of a long enough time frame. And so we wanted to kind of switch things up. And so usually what we do is we do our a movie we watched this week, and then we do a couple of topics, and then we end it with a movie recommendation. We're going to basically just kind of cut out the topics part from the middle, and we're going to do a movie we watched this week, a recommendation, and then at the end, if we have anything that's actually worthy of talking about, we'll talk about that, because we didn't want to kind of like just be making shit up that nobody gives a fuck about every single week. We didn't want to fall into that or be a news podcast either. I think we were all kind of in agreement that both of those things sounded stupid. So,
Well,
yeah.
they were in agreement. I was just kind of bullied into it. So
Yeah, you shut your fucking mouth and do what you're told, okay? Take your shirt off and dance, Harv. There we go. Yeah.
Pasties on and little tassels.
Fuck yeah. And I know you're hot in here right now too. I know that the hut is toasty, so that's even better. All right, so I got Harv, me, and Disc on my end, so that we'll kind of go in that order. So Harv, what did you watch this week?
Let's see. So I watched a nice classic, still in tune with my Summerween vibe going on. I never watched it before. Always wanted to, just never was able to get a hold of it. Finally got a hold of a copy of Dawn of the Dead, the original. Great movie. Not as good as the... This is a case where the remake is actually a little bit better than the original.
Mm-hmm.
In my opinion. I don't know if other people have the same opinion. It was a little bit slower, and but it how can I put it? It was still decent, and I'm a big zombie fan. I'm a zombie movie fan. I love all things zombies, but I also like more the traditional style, which I like the way they do it, where all the zombies move pretty slow. Not like they get superhuman strength like on World War Z. You know, they're running, they can outrun some of the fastest track stars in the world, and they're supposed to be dead. So I don't get that. But yeah, for this movie, I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Okay. So you saying, so the remake Dawn of the Dead is the one where, you know, like they go to the mall and stuff like that or whatever. I forget the actor or the actress who was the main
Bing
character.
Rames is in it. I think who else? This is a whole cast.
Yeah,
there's quite a few people in there. Yeah,
big cast. But those ones have the fast zombies.
That one has fast zombies. That's the one thing I didn't like about it. But they had more characters, so it kind of helped the storyline a little bit better. The original, the main characters, there was only really 4, and then whittled down to 3, 2, you know, so on and so forth. But they started with a larger group on the remake, so it helped. I think it helped expand the story a little bit and push it along further, because there's only so much you can do with when you have less people in there. You know, it's not like this one movie that somebody talked about recently that it's only 2 people during the whole fucking trilogy. But that's just my opinion.
Yeah. What would you say was like did you have like a favorite scene or anything from the movie, or?
Trying to think. Yeah, there was quite a few scenes. I did like the raid when this other group finds out that they're in the mall and they come and raid it and to just grab stuff. And the one of the guys is like, hey, they're just trying to get the stuff and then they're gonna leave. That's all they do is they're raiders. And the other guy was like, this is no, we found this is ours. And he starts a war with just two of them to like 20. It's like, how are you going to even try that? Plus with all the other, not to mention the zombies that are coming in at the same time. So it's the way that whole scene takes place, or it's multiple scenes in there, but that's my favorite part of the movie is when they're trying to fight. And I mean, willpower, or the sheer will to survive and to maintain what's yours in a situation like that. It's pretty powerful.
Okay, so sort of related question. Zombie apocalypse breaks out tomorrow. How much time do you realistically think you have? Slow zombies.
It depends. So I've actually, I'm kind of a nerd about this, and the little you know about me is I'm kind of a prepper in some ways, and living here in California, we have it kind of helps with other aspects because we do have to deal with earthquakes and natural disasters, stuff like that. So it's kind of good to be somewhat like that, have a mindset of that. So I've run through some scenarios and I would not be able to leave anywhere. So where I live, I live at the bottom end of a valley, and there's only literally only like 5 ways to get out of this valley. So it's south through the mountains to LA, through the mountains, going towards the desert, but and north is just still in the valley, and then there's 2 ones going west. So east, west, 2, 1. So there's not really that many. Yeah, that's all I could hunker down, and see what happens from there. Try to go as long as I could. Yeah. I'll be like what's his name, Will Smith.
Yeah. You know what Disc would be?
He'd be the zombie trying to get into my house.
This would be like Channing Tatum, and This Is the End. Remember when he's like in the gimp suit and he's somebody's fucking dog?
Channing Tate Yum.
This is fucking Channing Tatum. Like I could see Disc could pull that off pretty well, I think. Yeah.
I don't know about that.
You're halfway there. Yeah. All right. Did you have any questions for him about Dawn of the Dead?
It's not his cup of tea because it's actually a fun movie.
I can't really say much because I haven't seen the original. I've seen the remake, but I think you kind of already talked about like why. Like, did you say if you like the original better, or if you still like the remake better? I know you said the remake you don't like how they're fast.
I like the remake better, slightly.
Okay.
Slightly. Visually wise, acting wise, I watching a lot of old, because I've been on a kick on older horror movies lately, and a lot of the scene cuts are really choppy. I don't know if anybody else has seen that or actually come to that conclusion, but if you see something, they'll say something and then all of a sudden they're doing something else, or they'll cut from one scene where they're doing something and they're doing something completely different. Like there's no transition. It's just straight cuts in throughout the movie. And I've noticed that on multiple older, like classic horror movies where there's a lot of choppy scene cuts. And that's kind of annoying. I like transitions into other ones, or at least, they'll have a couple of scenes that'll explain some stuff before they start doing something else. Not just one thing and then a completely different thing. Like there was one where they were talking in a restaurant, and all of a sudden they're off in a helicopter teaching the girl in the film how to fly. So it's just like kind of I mean, she said it at the beginning that she wanted to learn how to fly the helicopter, but there was like no transition into like talking about like I need to learn how something. It was just one to the other, real choppy.
Okay. Dawn of the Dead. What was it? 1970 what?
I believe it's
Like
78.
okay, 1978. Damn.
Yeah, I want to say it was 1978, but I could be wrong.
Okay.
Let me fact check that. Yep, 1978. I was right.
Okay. Very good. So the movie that I watched with Disc. This is one that Disc had already seen before. I hadn't got a chance to yet, and it was called Marty. And that was from, I think, 1955. I'm not looking it up.
Yeah,
It might be.
1955.
Yeah, it might. Okay, 1955. Anyway, it's very good. It's a very good movie. It's I mean, the plot is, I mean, it's pretty simple. You have a guy who's like, I would say, traditionally unattractive. You know, he's not a looker or anything like that. But he seems, at first, as though he's kind of okay with it. That he's okay with his lot in life and being, you know, a bachelor and everything. He lives with his mom, and everybody kind of wants him to branch out though, and they're like, you should find a girl and everything, specifically his mom. And there's a great scene in there, and when, you know, his mom's kind of laying into him about that and saying like, I would really love if you would find somebody, and he gets really emotional about that, and he's like, just fucking leave me alone, you know, like I'm fine. And that's when you kind of get the first hint that he's not fine about it, that he's just kind of putting on an act. At least that's how I just like kind of watched it. Is it like, you know, he's just kind of putting on a show to make it seem as though he's comfortable. Anyway, he ends up going to a dance hall with a buddy of his, and he meets a girl who is also not conventionally attractive. She's, you know, kind of bland, boring, or whatever, and they have this wonderful, beautiful night together. And I don't want to give the whole plot of the movie away, but one of the things I wanted to bring up was that there is a side plot point that matters to the overall plot of the movie, and it's that his Marty's aunt, his mom's sister, she has her son and his new wife and their baby living with her, and they're wanting her, the aunt, to leave the house so that they can start their lives together. And Marty's mom sees this. Now, again, Marty's mom has been wanting him to get a woman for a very long time, but when she sees that once somebody gets married and has kids, that they kind of want to get rid of the parents in a way. You know, it's not nefarious or anything. It's just kind of, it is what it is. She sees that and it distresses her, and she goes like, fuck. And now she doesn't want Marty to date this woman because she fears that this is the one. And if they get married, she's going to wind up, you know, living on the streets or something like that. And so that's kind of the general idea of the movie. And is like I said, it's very fun. Well, not fun, but there was some quality acting in it. And even though the story and the plot is relatively simple, it definitely packs a punch, you know. So yeah, I had a good time with it.
I think that they want to ask you. Oh, okay. What? Okay. Well, you didn't say it when you talked about it yet, but I was gonna say, what was your thoughts on, I guess, the introduction to the girl at the dance, and like how he was about to meet her? If he would have felt through it that way, like, did you think that was unique?
Yeah. Like, I wonder. I don't know if it would have changed much if he would have gone through with it. And basically, I don't think it's a spoiler.
No, I just didn't know if you were going to add all that in there too. But
yeah. So the way that he meets the girl, do you remember her name by chance? If not, it's
I think
okay.
it's like with an L. I feel like it's like
Martina.
Laura or Lori. I don't know.
It's fine. Well, anyway, she's at the dance hall with this guy, and the guy is like clearly a player, And literally
Yeah.
he's walking into the place and he sees a chick that he used to know or whatever. And he's like, hey, baby. And then he goes up to Marty and he's like, listen, I'll give you $5 if you take this ugly chick off my hands and drive her home. This is literally what he says. And Marty's like, what the fuck? Like, you can't do that to people. And so he watches a guy, like this guy, go up to another dude, fucking hands him $5. Now, luckily, the girl, she kind of like knows what's going on. She says no. And then when they're walking away, he's like, give me my $5 back or whatever. But yeah, so he's just kind of, Marty's watching this whole situation play out, and he doesn't really interact with it at all. He just waits for it all to kind of settle, and then she goes out by herself and is having a cry, and he's like, would you like to dance? And just kind of, that's his way in. So yeah, I thought it was really good.
I like that they added that, though. I feel like that added something to it. Like,
Yeah.
made it kind of like, I guess in a funny way, but like none of it really matters because it's not something he chose, like he decides to do, but I feel like it just adds like a layer to it.
Yeah. And what's unfortunate about the movie, I think, is that if certain people with certain ideas or beliefs or whatever were to watch it today, I feel like, unfortunately, it would be seen as like an incel movie, which sucks because I don't really think that it is. I mean, I can see how somebody could twist it that way very easily, but I feel as though, like, I haven't looked at the Letterboxd reviews or anything to see if anyone actually has said that, but that was one of the first things that I was thinking about while watching it, especially that scene with his mom where he has that little blowout and everything. And so I hope that that's not the general consensus, with a certain type of person that would watch those a movie like that, but I don't think a lot of those people would watch a movie like that anyway, so it's kind of fine. But
yeah, it's a great movie.
Yeah,
Great
it's a good one. Well, what did you watch, Disc?
Well, I was forced to watch a movie by a guy that's in this room tonight. His name goes by Janky. Sometimes people call him Shrek. I don't know why.
It was there before you.
Okay. That's what he says. I don't know. No one else can back him up on that.
I got one person left that can back me up on it.
We'll see if they comment on this video.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to call him and get him too.
Which
is sad.
Is pretty crazy.
Yeah, his name's Pooh. So if that tells you anything, yeah, Pooh.
Sharky Pooh. No, I was forced to watch this movie. It's been on my watch list for a while. I just never got around to it. Funny enough, it's actually like at the very bottom of my watch list until last night. But
that's
so
all
that
the good movies are.
Yeah, all the way at the bottom. Yeah. But the movie that I was told to watch, and I watched with Janky actually, that is From Dusk Till Dawn, the movie with George Clooney and Quentin Tarantino. I didn't really know what to think of it. Like, honestly, I'll be honest, I thought this was a Quentin Tarantino movie for like the longest time because I saw like he's in it, but it wasn't. And then when I found out
Robert
the director,
Rodriguez.
Yeah, when I found out it was him and then I watched the movie, I noticed like that's very much his type of movie. Like when you like compare it to like Once Upon a Time in Mexico and stuff like that. And it has like that Mexican like themes throughout the film too. Yes, sir. But no, it was good. I didn't, there was a few, I talked to Janky about how I thought like some of the pacing was a little bit, there was small little parts that I think were a little bit slow, but the rest were good. I think it's one of the movies that have like a really big epic with like when the vampires come in at the end. But I did mention I do kind of wish there was some more vampires. But I will say when the vampires are on screen, I love like how they're all different, or at least the majority of them are. And I really like the scene like when they're like grabbing like all these little like gears because they don't have any weapons really at all, so they had to come up with all this stuff.
Yeah,
and I thought it was really creative and different. I don't know if I really believe in the whole, holding two sticks or whatever you want to call it across from each other, calling that a cross, and that actually working. But it did in the movie. But I thought it was cool though, like how he was able to like cock the shotgun. And use
Yeah.
it. I thought that was
badass.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
But I think it's a fun movie. Like I said at the beginning, I think it just has some slow like scenes like to get to the parts that are good, like mainly like the hotel scene. But the scene in the hotel is pretty great too. Um, like I think Janky brought up last night about how he likes like when it flashes and shows but doesn't fully show. I thought that was unique. But some fun facts I found out. We'll get into that. So Salma, her dance scene was actually on the spot. I thought that was kind of interesting. Like I guess the director or Quentin Tarantino was like, just do whatever the music does to you. And what you saw on the movie was that. And then the other thing with the dance scene, she was actually terrified of snakes. So that was kind of a crazy thing with the amount of stuff that she does with that snake.
Yeah. She gets real close to that snake.
Yeah. So she went all in on that one. And then another one I wanted to bring up was apparently George Clooney wasn't actually going to be the original cast member. It was going to be either Christopher Walken, Steve Buscemi, or John Travolta. So that was kind of interesting. It's kind of interesting to think.
I don't see
like,
anybody but George Clooney. I don't know if I could see like Buscemi doing that role.
No, Quentin's part.
Oh, Quentin's part. I can see Buscemi doing that role.
I could see. I was gonna say Buscemi. I could see. Yeah, maybe not Travolta though.
No. This was going to be taking place of George Clooney.
Oh, I thought you said Quentin.
Like no, he said no. He said George Clooney.
Buscemi is George Clooney. What the fuck?
I don't even see Christopher Walken. I don't see Christopher Walken do it. Maybe John Travolta could pull it off. I could probably see that.
Because you got to remember, they're going to be next to Quentin Tarantino the most of the movie. So you got to like think of them as like a duo. And I feel like that's kind of hard to think of like Steve Buscemi next to Quentin Tarantino a whole movie.
Well, they could have pulled off Brothers, that's for sure. They're both like gangly, fucking weird looking.
Here's another little piece of trivia for you. Just throwing it out there. That Cheech Marin, he actually played 3 different parts in that movie, which is weird that he played 3 different separate characters in the same movie. That was kind of cool how they were able to fit that, and it went with it, like it flowed.
Yeah, that was fun, and he was a blast in that movie too. When he was doing his whole pussy speech and the different types and flavors and whatever the fuck he was talking about.
And that's when he had that nice Cheech mustache. Yeah. I think he needs to bring that back.
Yeah. Well, a couple of things I wanted to say. Number one, George Clooney is probably like the coolest motherfucker ever in a movie, in that movie. Like, that's why, like, when you said Clooney, I was like literally, I don't think I could imagine really anybody else playing Seth Gecko like that. They did a show from Dusk Till Dawn where they basically rehashed the first movie with a couple of lore bits in there, and then they, instead of the movie ending, it just continues on. But the guy they have play Seth Gecko in that movie, all he's doing is just channeling George Clooney the entire time. Like, he's literally talking and walking and acting exactly like Clooney from the first movie. And it's kind of embarrassing sometimes, but yeah, it's just, I don't know, I think he was like perfect for that. And then I wanted to kind of add to what you were saying earlier. Like, my favorite scene from that movie is, it's not really a spoiler, but we learn about how demented Richie Gecko's character is when they have this hostage, and he takes her into this room and he does horrible things to her and kills her. And when Seth finds out about it, it's a scene where you're seeing Seth come in the door and you're looking at his reaction to what he's seeing. And you get these like half-second little snip shots of stuff going on that had gone on in the room, and it's just like a quick second, and it happens like maybe 5 times, and then Seth turns around and you see him like walking away from the doorframe, and you just catch like half of the view of the bedroom as he's walking away, and the camera's kind of panning with him. So it just shows you like just enough to make you extremely uncomfortable, and like, oh God, like whatever happened in there was so fucking horrific. And I thought that was brilliant, especially for Robert Rodriguez, who's never really shied away from putting like copious amounts of gore in his movies, but he treated that specific scene so delicately, and I really respected it. Like, ever since I was a kid, that was like one of the first horror movies I ever saw. And there was always something about that scene that just felt really dark, and I loved how he did it.
Yeah. Another thing I wanted to add, I don't really know how much it changes, but like, I don't know the guy's name, but the ex-priest.
Harvey Keitel, Jacob is his character name. Yeah.
Like, I liked how, like, in the beginning, like, it showed, like, just him being very, like, against it, and then, like, he kind of, like, rebuilt it in a way.
Like his faith?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're kind of on him about it, too. Like, saying, like, we need that and stuff. And then it kind of makes him, like, reconsider his faith and stuff like that. I like that they added that in the movie.
Yeah, when he's like, what are you, a faithless preacher or a mean motherfucking servant of God? He goes, I like how he hums, or he like mumbles the motherfucker. He's like, I'm a mean servant of God. And it was like, just that alone shows you that he's already back, and he's already like back to it. And I thought that was really clever too.
Yeah.
It's a fun movie, man.
Yeah, it was fun. And like you did pull a good movie, because like the type of movie it is, with like the desert and the neons like at the bar and stuff, like that's very much the kind of movies that I do like to watch.
Yeah.
So,
and I like at the end where they show it was the Aztec temple,
dude,
and that how they had been doing it for years, years, and all the cars are just thrown over the side so this way nobody will see them. I think that was a cool little effect.
I really want you to watch the show, dude. You said you like watching TV shows too, man. Like, you would fucking love the show.
I don't think it's on anything right now. That's the problem. That's the only reason why I haven't watched it. I think I looked it up and it's not even on Tubi. It used to be on Tubi.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, give it some time. It'll make its way back. I'm pretty sure. I think that they should make a prequel. That Robert Rodriguez should make a prequel of how it start, like, from the beginning to the start of From Dusk Till Dawn. Like, how did they come up with,
like a show or a movie?
I think a movie, a show would be awesome. Like a I would say like expensive. A 3-season. Yeah. Like a 3-season would probably cover it, just to make it right, like a Netflix or some kind of a streaming show. So, I think that would be awesome, and enough for it to tell the full story, and from all the little details. As long as they don't add too many filler episodes, because I hate those in TV shows.
Yeah.
I wanted to add one more thing about the movie. I do like that it didn't end like on like a sob or like a sad or like devastating like moment. Like, it ended kind of like on like a almost like uplifting, but like almost kind of funny. Like, when he's like asking, he's like, why'd you want to come here out of all places and stuff like that? Like, why here? And then like when he gives her the money and stuff, like, I don't know, I just feel like it's like just like a very like quick and like just not trying to be too sad or anything about like, because like she did lose like her whole family and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I like how they
like he wanted a place out of the way.
Yeah, you didn't like go on to like her, driving the RV and stuff, and then like going on with their life, trying to get over it and stuff. And I like how it just like boom, done. That's it.
Now I gotta watch that movie. I haven't watched it in a while.
Now, they did make 2 sequels to these movies. The second one, I think, is kind of butt. I really do like the third one. I think the third one's kind of underrated, actually.
Really?
There's some fun stuff that goes. And the third one, have you seen it, Harv?
No, I haven't seen any of the sequels.
Okay, so the second one is it's like another modern day one, but the third one goes back to like the 1800s, and
So it's
it's
kind
set
of a prequel.
kind of, yeah, kind of. And you learn about uh Santanico Pandemonium more. You get a little bit of lore for her character in the third one, and like how she became that that person or whatever from the original movie, which it differs from the TV show, but you know, that's all separate anyway. But yeah, it's pretty fun. Um, well, okay, so we had Dawn of the Dead, Marty, and From Dusk Till Dawn as our first time watches. I'm digging it. So we'll go now into our movie recommendations.
Ooh.
So what do you got, Harv?
I'm gonna go keep it with my theme. I'm gonna keep it with it. I'm gonna go with a nice, subtle, calm movie. That's just a family favorite. It'll be your whole family will enjoy it. Ghost Ship.
Ghost Ship.
Yeah, that's family friendly.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think that the opening sequence of that, the opening scene where, well, you know what happens, or well, probably not this, but
Well, the audience doesn't, so you
Yeah.
got to tell them.
no.
Well,
Oh yeah,
maybe
let me
don't.
just
Yeah, no.
spoil.
Yeah.
Just don't.
If
No,
there
I'm not
was
gonna
something
be a
to spoil
spoiler.
in that movie, it would be the opening scene.
It's
Yeah,
true.
I will say that much. The opening scene is just chef's kiss. I think they knocked it out of the park with that opening scene.
And they really chopped up something there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if somebody had a bunch of movies in front of them and they had Ghost Ship, why should they watch Ghost Ship?
Because
over
Harv's
those other
motherfucking movie hut told him to.
movies? Okay.
Plain and
Yeah.
simple. No, it's a great movie. It has a lot of action. A lot. There's some gore. There's a good story behind it of what's going on, of how it's going on. The only thing that sucks about it, which I think a lot of people will be in agreement, is that it never had a sequel.
Hmm.
And
Okay.
if you watch the movie, you'll understand why I say that.
Gotcha.
There should have been a sequel. Yeah.
And for anybody listening, what's kind of like the general plot?
It's been a little while. But apparently, or basically, there was a ship. Stuff happened, and let's just say everybody became ghosts on the ship. It had treasure on it, and I'm not trying to give too much away.
Yeah.
Some people end up finding it, and are going to take the treasure off the ship, and everything goes haywire.
Yeah. So it's like a haunted house movie, but on a boat.
Yeah, yeah. Which makes it a little bit different. A little different premise than a haunted house. I think it's something. It was something new at the time.
Yeah.
Something a little
Okay.
different.
Well, speaking of different, my recommendation is vastly different than Ghost Ship. I'm going to go with a movie that I know some people have seen, but I don't feel like enough people have seen it. It's a movie called Doubt from 2008. This has got Philip Seymour Hoffman, Meryl Streep, and Amy Adams. And this is a hard movie to watch because of the context of what you're watching. And basically it's about this nun who believes without a shadow of a doubt that the priest at their local parish is messing around with young boys in the church. And so the whole movie, what makes it so interesting and kind of difficult is because Philip Seymour Hoffman's playing the priest, and the movie goes back and forth with like making you feel as though he may be guilty or he may not be guilty. And because, like, so when you think he's guilty, Meryl Streep seems like she has all the answers. And when you don't, you kind of, the movie portrays Meryl Streep as maybe being like just a little overbearing and paranoid. And so, like, you don't know, is she paranoid and too controlling, or is she completely right and Philip Seymour Hoffman's just really fucking good at being sneaky and being a total piece of shit? And it's a brilliant, I just think it's so well. I mean, like, the acting in it, I mean, just, you can tell by the cast alone that it's fucking top tier. But one of the things, I was looking up some trivia and I lost my place on it, but the gist was, and this is horrible, is that there was going to be a Broadway play of the movie, and the director of that play version of this was supposed to be Roman Polanski, which, if anybody knows what Roman Polanski was guilty of in the 70s, makes that really fucking horrible that he was even considered to direct a movie, like, or not a movie, but a play based on, like, with what's happening in that story. I don't know who the fuck decided we should ask Roman, but whoever they are should be fired. But yeah, this is a big fat recommendation. And Amy Adams, by the way, her role in the movie is kind of this middle ground character, right? She's kind of us. She's the audience, personified. She's like not sure what to believe, and she really wants to believe that the priest would never do that. And at the same time, she really wants to believe, like, that this nun who she looks up to is not out of her mind or whatever. And I'm not going to tell you whether he was guilty or not guilty, obviously, but it's up for you to decide when you watch it. So that's my recommendation. I hope somebody watches it and lets me know what they think. So, Disc, what do you got?
You guys are gonna judge.
Fuck yeah, we are. Fuck
right,
yeah.
So, no. Because I know Harv. I'm pretty sure you've seen this movie, so you can't even. It's a rom-com, okay? But it's a rom-com. I don't think anyone really talks about it or watches it really, or has seen it or heard of it. But I think, Harv, I talked to you about it. But it's I think it's called Guess Who with Ashton Kutcher.
Oh, that movie's great.
It's a great movie, yeah, but I feel like nobody ever talks about that movie.
It's a fun movie.
Bernie Mac. I'm going to recommend it.
Yeah.
Huh?
Bernie Mac.
Yeah.
Bernie Mac, yeah.
Ashton Kutcher, yeah.
And Zidane, what's her name?
I want you to say it.
What's her name from Guardians of the... Is it Zoe Saldana?
Are you having a fucking stroke right now?
Yeah, I am.
Isn't it Zoe Saldana or something like that?
Zoe Saldana, yeah.
That was fun. Anyway,
the movie, I guess it came out, hilarious. Around a time where I guess this was kind of like the norm for how, you look at things. But basically the movie is there's this black family, this girl. I think the reason why he meets the dad is because they were getting married or they were just dating for a while, and he was, asking for him to finally know about it. I know. It's been a while, but the movie's great. I had very much fun with it. But the whole time okay, I'll say this. I love the intro of like when Ashton Kutcher meets the dad, because he shows up in not like a car, but he thinks he's like
it's a cab. It's a cab.
Like a cab. Was it a cab?
It was a cab.
Okay, anyway. Yeah. Well, he's standing there. I'm pretty sure he says, like, what, do you want a tip or something? Like, go get the bags or whatever. And then he's like, that's when he's like, that's like, I'm, the future, husband or whatever. And he just starts dying laughing. You're like, yeah, okay. But and then after that, like, it's just like everything like changes. Like, he doesn't want to have this marriage happen at all. And he's constantly bickering with Ashton Kutcher, like saying he's not good enough to be, you know, the husband for her and stuff like that. It's a fun movie. And I think it has a very good ending too, like very uplifting.
Did you know that it is kind of a remake?
It is?
It is based on a movie called Guess Who's Coming to Dinner. The only difference
Sidney
is
Poitier.
that movie came out, I think, in the 60s or 70s, and it's about a black guy going to a white family, and it's a little less fun. That's all I gotta say. It's a little less fun. But
the original stars Sidney Poitier.
Yeah. And with it being older, it's probably a lot rougher.
It's a little bit, but it's still, you know, it's still a decent movie. Yeah, no, one of my favorite parts of Guess Who is when they're driving together and he's going through the radio like the songs and fucking Walk on the Wild Side comes on. It's like all the color girls say do to do to do. It's just like looking at him like, fuck, get me out of here, dude.
And then he tries to change it, and it's another song, a similar song. He like goes to like 3 different
Ebony
stations.
And
and
Ivory,
just,
yeah. Yeah, it's good stuff. Or he's like, it starts, you know, like raining, and he's like, you want to turn the windshield wipers on? He's like, I will. When it starts raining, it's like fucking pouring down rain. It's so good, man. Yeah, it's a fun movie. Dude, I miss Bernie Mac. He was so fun, bro.
He was
Did you watch
the
Bernie
best.
Mac show?
I never watched it. It was a little corny to me, or maybe I just thought it was corny at the time, so I never got to watch it. I wasn't really into sitcoms all that much back at.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I used to watch Bernie Mac show like every day, and then I loved him in Bad Santa too. His role in that one, him and John Ritter and their little meetings they would have. Dude, that shit was like comedy gold, man.
Fun fact: the one that played the guy that played the elf and Bernie Mac both played it Friday together.
That's right. Yeah, they did. Actually, yeah, because he fucks his wife.
Miss Parker. Miss Parker!
He fucks Miss Parker, and then he gets chased down the road. Yeah, that's right. Oh, man. Good stuff. Well, so to recap on the recommendations, we had Ghost Ship, Doubt, and Guess Who.
What a variety.
Yeah, that is spanning. So, I guess before we hop off, was there anything anybody wanted to add to this week? Anything you wanted to talk about topic wise?
I did. I wanted to bring up the announcement that Sony came out with that they are gonna not be doing physical discs after or as of 2028. They're gonna stop doing them for their video games. I was actually watching a couple other content creators, and they kind of had the same premise or the same thought process that I was actually having. Like, well, what's going to happen? Could that happen to physical media or to movies?
Mm-hmm.
It's happening to games, and it's only a matter of time before Xbox or Steam's already pretty much like that. So, but here's what everybody's saying, and it kind of holds some weight. How Sony holds the patent for Blu-rays. So will they just say that's it for Blu-ray and that's it? Or, you know, what's going to happen? Because they could just say, well, we're just going to stop making Blu-rays. We're the ones that hold the patent. And I mean, you can go back to DVD. I mean,
yeah, I'd say like somebody will just come up with a new format, and then they would just lose a shitload of money. Well, we can go back to HD
DVD. There's HD DVD too. We could go back to that, but 4K, everything's on a Blu-ray disc still. So like all of that would be out the door.
Yeah, I would imagine it would just become a tighter niche at that point, and we'd probably, unfortunately, have to pay for it with our wallets. But if they did do that, but I don't know if I could see them fully doing away with movies. Now, with video games, I can, like, I disagree with it 110%, but I can see, like, how they could get away with that much easier than they could with movies and TV shows. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's going on with that recently. Like, there's a big company in the video game world called Ubisoft that puts out video games, and they got into a ton of hot water. I want to say it was last year or the year before, where they had, I think it was the owner, the CEO or whatever, had put out a tweet or something saying something along the lines of, people need to get used to not owning their video games. It's basically what he said. And he's a dickhead for saying that, but at the same time, I don't think a lot of people actually know that they don't own their fucking digital video games or their digital movies, for that matter. Like, if you're buying it off of Amazon, if you're buying a movie off Amazon, or you're buying a video game off the Sony marketplace, or Xbox or whatever, you don't own that shit. You're just licensing it. And I don't think a lot of people know that, because they don't make it apparent, because they put buy, not rent, not fucking license. They do that on purpose, because people unfortunately just don't know about it.
A perfect case is Sony PlayStation again. They're deleting 500 and or more movies off of their streaming platform. Therefore, if you pay for it, you don't have it no more. It's gone.
Yeah.
So, and I wonder, that's just a show right there.
Well, I was going to say, I wonder how that works, though, because I don't know if it's maybe just with Steam. So, for instance, like, there is a game that used to be on Steam that I really wanted to play, and they took it off, but you can still buy a key for it, like a purchasing, like when you buy a video game, like a PC game, it usually has like an activation key. And so you can use that to activate your game or whatever. And so I bought that online, and then I could still play the game through Steam that way. Even though I couldn't buy it directly from Steam, I could still kind of like move it over. So I don't know if that's something somebody could do with them getting rid of the movies and shit. But so video game wise, you got me heated. I feel like my fucking getting heated on this topic. But like, so there was a game that I used to love called Overwatch, and Overwatch released in 2016. And it went up and down as quality wise over the years, and I would always say I fucking hate it, but I would keep playing it. But then what they did was they said they were going to release Overwatch 2. And the whole thing was that they were going to revamp everything, and they were going to add the single player mode, and they had all these promises. And instead of releasing a separate game, what they did was they deleted the original game and basically updated it to Overwatch 2. So rather than having Overwatch 1 and Overwatch 2, you just had Overwatch 2 basically absorb the first game, and then it just disappeared and no longer exists anymore. Which means that when I paid $60 fucking in 2016 for the game, I no longer have access to that game anymore, because I never did, apparently, in the first place. Even buying a physical copy, it won't fucking matter. You cannot play that game anymore. So it's all dirty, man. It's all dirty. I hope it blows the fuck up in their faces, man. These scumbags.
They've already been testing the water. You can see that they've been testing the waters with the what is this Series S from Xbox, where they don't, or the PlayStation version that, yeah, they don't take discs on. There's one for the PlayStation already, and then one for Xbox. So you can't. The only one that's still doing it, and who knows, is Nintendo.
No, they're not. The Nintendo Switch 2, when you buy a game now, like a physical game, there's no game in it. It's just a download key. So you have the case. So you have the case for it, but there's nothing in the fucking case. There's no like chip or game cartridge.
What's the point of even having the case? Like,
there is none. Because fuck you. That's why. Because fuck you. I'm Nintendo, and you're gonna suck my dick until I tell you to stop. That's what all of these companies are doing, because people just keep sucking their dicks. And
And
until
they're
they
not going to stop. And they're not going to stop. They're going to keep doing it.
Yeah.
They're going to bitch about it, which a lot of people, it happens on a whole plethora of different things. People bitch about it, but don't stop doing it.
Yeah. Pretty much. It's pretty much, yeah, like the constant, never ending. Just, you see it in so many different like different things in life. Even like it's not just like video games, or you can go into politics and like anything. It's just like all it is people bitching and nobody's doing anything about anything. And so it's like, well, and then you get the mentality you're like, well, what am I gonna do, because nobody else is, and then that's how they get you. And it's like, fuck, I guess we're all just gonna sit here eating dick till we die.
Mm-hmm. Big,
You know what
big sandwich.
I wonder, like, do you think, like, over the next, like, say 5-10 years, so let's say physical media is still a thing, like with movies, right? Do you think, like, the PS4 or the Xbox One will go up in value because it's probably going to be like the last one that has a disc drive to play 4K? Because if it's either you have that or you buy a 4K player, which that is a lot more than what a typical one would be. Because like consoles drop so much over the years, so I wonder once we start going like no disc drive in the next probably like 5 years or so, and so on. Like I really wonder if those like two like Xbox One and PS4, if they'll like go up a lot because of the fact that that's the only way.
It will. You see it already, like before that disappearance even happened. A huge selling point of the PS3 was that it could play Blu-rays and shit. Or maybe it was a PS4. I don't remember which one it was, but one of them could play Blu-rays, and it was like people were buying them just for that. That didn't even play video games, because you could get one.
I bought it for that.
Significantly cheaper than you could for a fucking brand new Blu-ray player. And the same for the Xbox Series X playing at true 4K. I think it's true 4K. I don't know. That's kind of like wishy-washy, but a lot of people were buying it just for that, because that was like, I think at launch like $500 or $600 if you were lucky enough to get one, and not from a fucking scalper. And then you look at
with the PS5.
Yeah, and then you look at a Blu-ray. A 4K player is about the same fucking price. And so if you're doing like, if you're looking at, you're like, okay, well, what am I getting for my value here? It's like, I got two things that can both play 4K, but I can play video games on. So you're like, fuck it. I'll just get the one that can also play video games,
Okay. So then let me add to that then with that topic. Like, do you think, because think of it this way, like physical media then at that point is going to really crash. Because I feel like a lot of people that are like in their teenage years just get the newest console. And then they either sell their old console to get the new console or, whatever. So think of it that way then. Then there's no way for a new person that plays video games with, a no disc drive to really get into physical media unless they, rebuy another Xbox. But who knows if that goes up then, So it's weird to think about that like in the next 5 or so years.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it goes. And my sister, I think I've told you guys before, her husband owns a 3 technically retro video game stores. And so, I mean, I'll be able to see kind of like from an inside scoop perspective on what that looks like, moving forward, to kind of get an idea is like, is physical media going to ramp up, or is it going to ramp down because of what's happening? I personally think it's going to ramp up. I think people's nostalgia and shit is so pungent these days, where like you just cannot let go of the past because of the, it's comforting or, whatever. And we live in such an uncomfortable world in some ways. And so people just cling on to that stuff. And I think it's going to ramp up. I don't think it'll go down personally.
Yeah, I think it'll be like just like how people will go and buy vinyl, like a vinyl player. Like
I think it'd be even bigger than that.
Go to a DVD player.
Yeah, because we see it already. It's already on the rise. Like physical media has just consistently been going up over the years.
Mm-hmm.
If you think about it,
you could see it.
It should go up even more because it should be more relatable than kids growing up with vinyl players, you know?
Right.
More people
Yeah.
grew up in like my age with, DVD players. So it'd be like, dang, I missed that. Like you don't really get that with vinyl players for people like my age and stuff. You
Mm-hmm.
know, they weren't just really around.
I think that when you'll finally know when it's really on the rise and it's really making a comeback is when like Target, the ones that stopped selling physical media, start doing it again. Well,
Yeah,
Yeah,
their
like
movies.
displays. Yeah,
Yeah,
displays
because they
become
just
like more like extravagant and shit, like how they used to be, where they'd have like cutouts and stuff, and all like
mm-hmm.
they'd really go out for it. Yeah.
Like Best Buy or Target or whoever else. When you start seeing those places start doing it, because Walmart right now is the only one I know of that still sells it. So
and
besides
Barnes
like
and
Dollar General still does, but there are kind of all over the place. But for actual brand new, just released copies, Walmart's the only one that I know of around me. So other than ordering it online. So once I start seeing those stores start carrying it, I know that it's really picked up and it's probably even back to what it used to be.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Well, shit, Big Lots. Before they closed the one down over here, I got a Blu-ray from there, Steel Dawn, which is like
Oh,
a
wow.
kind of a Mad Max ripoff. I was like, why the fuck do they have this here? Let's snatch that up real quick. But yeah, R.I.P. Big Lots. All right.
They're still around. They're still around.
Just not around here.
They
Unfortunately.
closed down a bunch of them, and then they decided just before they closed them all up, they were like, let's not. So they kept some open.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, anything else you guys want to add before we shut down this video?
No, I'm good. I think we're good for the
One more
week.
thing.
Oh, here we go.
Apparently, the most disgusting, uh, vile movie is they're going to be making a release of it. They're coming out with Umbrella is releasing the Human Centipede trilogy in a
Oh
box
yeah.
set.
Yeah. The movie collection you just bought a box set for.
Yeah, but theirs is like way nicer. Like
Yeah,
way
it better be
nice.
for like $175 fucking dollars.
Yeah, mine was like 60. So
Yeah. Yeah.
but
Do
I
you
guess
really
each
need to
one
see
has its
people
own
eating
case.
poop in 4K though?
No, I think it would be better in VHS to tell you the truth. You need that little bit of
Feels
fuzziness to kind of still have some deniability there.
yeah,
Like,
feels
did I really just
dirtier.
see that?
Yeah.
Do you know when it releases for people that might be interested?
Believe it's in October, like October
Okay.
13th or something like
Okay.
So check out Umbrella website around October then.
Yeah. Also,
150.
I do want to say, just as like, I don't want to be like that guy, and be like, hey, make sure you like, subscribe, and share, and all that stuff. But if you could do that, that'd be great. But more importantly than that, what I would like is if anybody's watching this and they got to the end, congratulations. But if you could let us know in the comments, like, if you have seen any of the recommendations that we gave or our first time watches or anything, what you thought about them. If you're going to watch any of them, come back and let us know if you did watch it. We really appreciate the comments and stuff like that. So I think with that, we're pretty much done. So let's get the hell out of here and go back to doing nothing.
Peace.
Later, everybody. See you next week.